Richard Hoffman has been found guilty of breaking his way into the Lindbergh Mansion, the Eagle's Nest high in the Sauerland Mountains, and of murdering the Lindbergh baby. War clouds again darken Europe. Germany has hurled the gauntlet of arms equality into the faces of her former foes. She's come out in the open to announce the immediate conscription of an army of 500,000 men. The race for armaments and war is on.
The Social Security Bill has passed both houses of Congress and will soon be signed by the President and become a law.
With an impressive cavalcade of motor cars speeding across the very top of Boulder Dam, President Roosevelt arrives to dedicate the Great Power and Irrigation Project before 20,000 people assembled here from all parts of the Southwest. He sounds the praises of the giant construction job, the greatest ever tackled by man.
Calling Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard. Calling Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine.
Before I was born, I think my parents really had a good time. It was during the Depression, but they lived in New York and they both had jobs. And they both worked at Bloomingdale's, and my mother said that if you had a job in those days, life was good. Everything was so cheap. And so they went out to restaurants, and they saw everything in New York City, and they really had a good time. And my mother used to work at she worked at the toy counter, and she also worked at the cosmetic counter. And so she knows everything about cosmetics. And she said when she worked at the toy counter, she waited on Eleanor Roosevelt one day. And then there's my baby picture, my birth announcement is in the Bloomingdale newspaper. Yeah, I was born in New York City, in Flushing, New York. And then I guess what happened, to this day I really don't have it straight, but I think eventually my father lost his job. And so and then my mother got pregnant with my sister. And so we had to move back to Rochester where they knew they would never go hungry, because my grandparents were farmers. I really did not like my sister, and everybody oohed and ahed over her. She was adorable.
Oh, that's very similar to mine.
With the curly hair and everything. And when I went off to school, she thought I was wonderful, and she tried to follow me to school.
God, that's exactly
And I let her do it. I was hoping she'd get hit by a truck.
Hawaii's bright Sunday becomes a black Sunday. High overhead, Jap raiders are on the loose. Without warning, they circle Pearl Harbor and the city of Honolulu. A surprise attack born of infamy.
Oh yeah, first of all, I remember the night of Pearl Harbor, because we were listening to the radio, because it was a Sunday night, and we used to listen to The Shadow, because I remember that they interrupted The Shadow, which I think came either right before or after Jack Benny.
Yes, right.
And I remember the announcement, and of course I recognized the president's voice. That famous voice, that very famous.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
And I remember when my uncle went to war. First of all, we all went to say goodbye, but they wouldn't let you go down to the train tracks, I guess for security reasons. And that was very scary, and it was also the only time I ever saw my grandfather cry, his only son going off to war.
I've got a job to do, too. Where I'm going, you can't follow. What I've got to do, you can't be any part of. Ilsa, I'm no good at being noble, but it doesn't take much to see that the problems of three little people don't amount to a hill of beans in this crazy world. Someday you'll understand that. Now. Here's looking at you, kid.
school during the war, and we used to do things that seemed very strange to me. First of all, for an art project, we had to make a ration book cover. You don't know what ration books are, but we had little stamps so that you could get meat and butter on a certain allotment during the weekend. And we made these little books, covers out of burlap and some kind of embroidery or something. My mother still has it. And we collected newspapers and so forth. And the weirdest thing that we did was to collect grease, bacon grease, which I guess is used in making explosives. But first of all, we had to hide it from my grandfather because he would have hated it if he had known he ate bacon. I remember my first grade teacher, her name was Miss Diamanda, and it was her first year of teaching, and I already knew how to read, but I was so fascinated by books, and she was a very fine reading teacher, so I remember that. I loved that. I hated gym. Spent a lot of our summers at my grandpa and grandma's, and oh God, that was wonderful. I would have loved to have done that for the rest of my life. My grandpa used to take me with him out to the pasture.
It was a farm, and we had a
yeah. As a matter of fact, we have pictures of Debbie and me wearing his boots because there was a lot of mud and cow pats and things in the pasture. And he used to take me with him to go look at the cattle. And then my grandma took me with her to go and collect the chickens and eggs. They weren't exactly farmers, they were sort of jobbers, brokers. And one time we were riding in the truck. My grandma used to drive this truck. I don't think she ever had a license. Down the dirt road with a hired man and me, and we must have struck a nest of wasps or bees or something, and they all came flying in through the window, and everybody got stung except me. I didn't get stung, but it was very traumatic and for everybody, as you can imagine, lots of excitement and goings on, and we just had the best.
I should say this, that Pat doesn't have a mink coat, but she does have a respectable Republican cloth coat. And I always tell her that she'd look good in anything.
I'm for president, you like Ike, I like Ike, everybody likes Ike for president. Hang out the banner, beat the drum, we'll take Ike to Washington.
I met Nina's father, Kara's grandfather, in high school. We only lived a few blocks away from each other, and I think our parents knew each other, although the Bowrods traveled in very highly cultured circles. And my parents traveled in semi-cultured circles. So he used to play, and during the summer, John used to play in the schoolyard. We used to play baseball and capture the flag, and I think that's how I met him.
How old were you?
And I was 13 years old, and he was 15.
Gosh.
So I've known him for a long time.
Wow.
Yes.
That is a long time.
Well, you can rock it, you can roll it, do the stop and even stroll it at the hop. When the record starts spinning, you lips are when you're chicken at the hop. Do the dance sensations that are sweeping the nation at the hop. Let's go to the hop. Let's go to the hop. Oh baby, let's go to the hop. Oh baby, let's go to the hop. Come on, let's go to the hop. Well, you can swing it, you can groove it, you can really start to move it at the
Very
hop.
first day, I never did any work, but I got A's all the time until I was a freshman in college, and I got my first C on the 6-week midterm exams, and that scared me so much that I got A's after that.
Come on, let's go to the hop. Let's go! Well, you can rock it, you can roll it, do the stop and even scroll it at the hop. When the record starts spinning, you lips are when you're chicken at the hop. Do the dance sensations that are sweeping the nation at the hop.
No, I never wanted to get married, but I didn't really know what girls did when they grew up. I never really knew about that. I was 17 years old when I graduated from high school and left home and went to college. And I was really much too young to go to college. I was just having a good time. I met a boy at college that I liked a lot, but I had really been dating John forever, and he was at Wisconsin, and he was graduating and going to Michigan to medical school. He really wanted me to marry him.
All the cats and the chicks can get their kicks at the hop. Let's go! Let's go to the hop. Let's go to the hop. Oh baby, let's go to the hop. Oh baby, let's go to the hop. Come on, let's go to the hop.
Well, actually, I don't know. I think I did all right, considering that I didn't know how to cook, I didn't know how to sew, I had never written a check, and I knew nothing about babies, and I didn't even want to bring my Bruce home from the hospital because I didn't have that instant maternal feeling that they said you were supposed to have. I was just way too tired.
Well, you were too young.
Too young and too tired.
How old were you when you had Bruce?
20. And then I started to like him, and I've liked you all since then.
That's good to know.
Yeah, but I never did. If anybody brings me little milk cartons to make into something, I just go into shock. I don't do that kind of thing.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave. You know it's
From
a
Dallas,
lie.
Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, some 38 minutes ago.
Tell me, baby, still you tell me maybe that someday, well, I'll be blue. Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave. You know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die.
1, 0, all engine running. Liftoff, we have a liftoff, 32 minutes past the hour.
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say
The excitement stirred by these youngsters from Liverpool who call themselves the Beatles. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles!
Oh yeah, I'll tell you something I think you'll understand. When you say goodbye, yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave, you know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die. Well, that'll be the day. Ooh, ooh, that'll be the day. Ooh, ooh, that'll be the day. Ooh, ooh, that'll be the day.
I blame everything on Richard Nixon because I never knew what to tell my children after that. I never knew what to tell them about kindness, justice, peace, truth, treating everyone equally, and honesty, of course. And when I grew up, when I was little, Franklin Roosevelt was president. And Joe Louis was the heavyweight champion. And I thought those two things would always be.
Right, well, the New York State Thruway is closed. Isn't that far out?
Coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Don't touch my bags if you please, Mr. Customs Man. We'll steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
When the moon is in the seventh house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planets and love.
mama pajama rolled out of bed and she ran to the police station. When the papa found out, he began to shout and he started the investigation. It's against the law. It was against the law. Oh, what the mama saw, it was against the law. The mama looked down and spit on the ground every time my name gets mentioned. The papa said, oh, if I get that boy, I'm gonna stick him in the house of detention. Well, I'm on my way. I don't know where I'm going. I'm on my way. I'm taking my time, but I don't know where. Goodbye to Rosie, the queen of Corona. See me and Julio down by the schoolyard. I'll see me and Julio down by the schoolyard. They're gonna take me away, but the press let the story leak. Now when the radical priests come to get me released, we's all on the current news week. And I'm on my way. I don't know where I'm going. I'm on my way. I'm taking my time, but I don't know where. Goodbye to Rosie, the queen of Corona. See me and Julio down by the schoolyard. See me and Julio down by the schoolyard. See me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
What did the president know? And when did he know it?
Time to get familiar with Pac-Man, for example. I don't know about it. Somebody I asked about it, and somebody told me that it was a round thing that gobbled up money. I thought that was Tip O'Neill.
Away.
liftoff. Liftoff of America's first space shuttle. And the shuttle has cleared the tower. Farewell program. Go. Roger, roll.
You can never know what it's like. Your blood like winter freezes just like ice. And there's a cold and lonely light that shines from you. You wind up like the wreck you hide behind that mask you use. And did you think this fool could never win? Well, look at me, I'm coming back again. I got a taste of love in a simple way. And if you need to know while I'm still standing, you just fade away. Don't you know I'm still standing better than I ever did? Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. And I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing. I'm still standing. Once I never could have hoped to win. You're starting down the road and leaving me again. The threats you made were meant to cut me down. And if our love was just a circus, you'd be a clown by now. No, I'm still standing better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing. I'm still standing. Better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing. I'm still standing. I'm still standing. I'm still standing.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
How about, what do you remember about what it was like to become a grandmother for the first time? Oh God, that was so exciting. That was when Sammy was born, of course. And it was almost exactly 7 years ago. And Danny and Lori were married on August the 18th of 1 year, and then they came to my sister's house for Thanksgiving, and they got pregnant, and Sam was born the next year. So my only misgiving was that they hadn't had much time together, but that your first grandchild is a little bit like your first child, you know. That is
Getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to like you, getting to hope you like me, getting to know you, putting it my way, but nicely. You are precisely my cup of tea. Getting to know you, getting to feel free and easy. When I am with you, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed? Suddenly I'm bright and busy because of all the beautiful and new things I'm learning about you day by day. Getting to know you, getting to feel free and easy. When I am with you, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed? Suddenly I'm bright and busy because of all the beautiful and new things I'm learning about you day by day, day by day.
To infinity and beyond.
Don't wanna be a richer one. Faces strange. Just gonna have to be a different one. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. Ooh, yeah.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
Our enemies are innovative and resourceful, and so are we. They never stop thinking about new ways to harm our country and our people, and neither do we.
Don't wanna be a richer one. Faces strange. Just gonna have to be a different one.
She bangs. Oh baby, when she moves, I go crazy cause she moves.
Change me, but I can't trace time. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. it hurts. And I'm too sexy for this song.
By Polk, he has it. He underhands to first, and the Boston Red Sox are the world champions. For the first time in 86 years, the Red Sox have won baseball's world championship. Can you believe it?
Mom, can I have some cereal?
Sure.
What do we have?
Well, let's see. Here's some Frosted Flakes.
Well, I like those. I'll try those.
Okay.
What is Bush Pardon's Wine Burger?
Oh, God.
Thanks. That's enough. That's enough.
Okay.
What? There's a giant slug in the cereal.
Oh, don't worry, dear. Just eat around it.
Yeah, all right. It's not that big a deal, I guess.
Bob Moran. Bob Moran. Oh, Bob Moran. Bob Moran. You got me rocking and a rolling, rocking and a reeling. Bob Moran. Bob Moran. Went to a dance, looking for romance. Saw Bob Moran, so I thought I'd take a chance with Bob Moran. Bob Moran. Bob Moran. Bob Moran. Bob Moran. You got me rocking and a rolling, rocking and a reeling. Bob Moran. Bob Moran. Bob Moran. Bob Moran. You got me rocking and a rolling, rocking and a reeling. Bob Moran. Bob Moran. Rock it up, baby. Taking it away. Al, it's famous ashtray. He's really rocking. Really stretching it. Scratch it, Carl. Scratch it, baby. Over there. Oh, down low. Down lower. Tried Betty Lou. Tried Betty Lou. Tried Betty Lou, but I knew she wouldn't do it. Bob Moran. Bob Moran. Bob Moran. Take Moran. You got me rocking and a rolling, rocking and a reeling. Bob Moran. Bob Moran. Bob Moran. Bob Moran.